What? Yeah, me birthing like that. It's terrible.
Yeah, multi-button.
Okay, what the hell was that? It's back here.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. Meet Karen and Chelsea, 2 friends behind a YouTube channel known for wholesome vlogs, cheerful challenges, and spreading positivity. Their content is typically lighthearted, but this particular video would turn out to be anything but. In search of a thrill, the pair decided to spend the night in Daring Woods, one of the most infamous forests in the UK. Also referred to as the Screaming Woods, the location has long been associated with chilling stories. Reports of unexplained screams, shadowy figures, and mysterious deaths have haunted this area for decades. The date was July 22, 2024, when Karen and Chelsea arrived at the edge of the forest, eager but nervous. With camping strictly prohibited, they stayed quiet as they hiked deeper into the trees, searching for a spot where they could remain hidden for the night.
It's eerie though, like you can only imagine what it's going to be like in pitch black.
Is that a map?
Oh, no camping is allowed in this woods.
Oh my god.
Well, we're doing it anyway.
We found a spot. We're not too off the path because we had, oh my god, we had so much to carry. Wow. Is this the base?
Oh, it's mosquito. It's got mosquito thing in it.
Mosquito net?
Yeah, built in. Look.
Is that the base?
No,
yeah,
this is the inner.
Oh,
this is the inner.
That's what the poles go through, right? Shimmy it all the way round. That's...
As the sun dipped below the horizon, they finally set up camp. Their tent was pitched, gear arranged, and laughter filled the clearing, at least for a little while. Once darkness settled in, the mood shifted.
Right, so it's completely pitch black now. It's not really... Everything's gone a bit wrong. We've got no signal. We've had to walk far just to get enough signal to get the stories of the area. We're shattered. Chelsea's driven for ages.
I'm knackered.
Everything's gone a bit wrong. We've squashed our breakfast.
My shoe got stuck in the mud. The whole shoe came off my foot.
Like we're getting signal, then we're getting signal, then we're not getting signal. But yeah, so it's pretty creepy. And I mean, when you're in here, it doesn't feel that bad because you can't see the woods that are around us.
Can't see the woods if you're out there anyway, it's too dark.
It's pitch black.
So all of a sudden, it's just gone really quiet.
I've just all of a sudden started to feel really frightened. Like literally just as you said that.
It just went...
I just got a very, very horrible feeling come over me, mate.
Yeah, shush.
Mate, I'm not actually kidding. I feel fucking scared.
I'm not.
No, I don't feel right. Something's not right. And I'm not being dramatic. Right as you fucking said that, I felt this horrible feeling of dread.
Alright, well don't tell me about it. You keep that to yourself.
Gone right off that cheesecake. Oh my god.
What?
I'm freaking myself out. Like, stop.
You are.
It was just weird that I felt that right when you said it.
Because when I spoke, it echoed through the woods. Wow. Wow.
A sudden drop in temperature, lack of cell signal, and overwhelming silence began to creep in. Jokes faded into nervous glances. Even the light-hearted banter couldn't mask the growing sense of unease. It wasn't long before strange things began happening.
Yeah, that's when the best bits happen.
What? Yeah, me birthing like that. It's terrible.
That light turned itself off, mate, and it can't turn it off unless you hold it down.
It's probably the battery's
No,
going.
mate.
The battery's probably going.
Mate, I barely used it.
Mate.
I'm telling you right now. That doesn't... I'm telling you now.
Okay.
On my life.
Alright.
You have to...
It doesn't matter. I don't care, do you?
Mate, that's creepy.
Do you care?
I'm fine. But
Okay. Oh my God, stop. Stop
I'm
it now.
telling you now.
Just stop it now. Just leave it off. Just leave it off. It's running out of battery.
Right, I'm putting this on because if that one goes out, I'm scared.
No.
Yeah.
It's running out of battery, that's all. I'm telling you
I
now.
haven't used it.
It's just running out of battery, that's all.
And do you know what? Maybe it is running out of battery, maybe it is, but
I've got a logic explanation for
it
everything.
could be running out of battery, but
I really
I've
have.
never used it, except for that time we were in the church and took a battery.
Their flashlight, which had been fully charged, began shutting off without warning. The forest around them went silent, eerily so. The girls tried to stay calm, chalking it up to bad luck and faulty equipment. But then came the noise, a scream.
Look, at the end of the day, that might be running out of battery, but
Someone said okay.
it is new. I haven't used it before. And
Shush. That's just people.
I heard a scream.
It's just people. Should we go to sleep? Should we go to sleep now?
Turn the lights off. The car's there. Yeah, I know. But
Got it.
we need to stay quiet because there are people. That wasn't a ghost. That was a person, and we don't want people seeing where we are because people like fucking scary people. If we get that scared, we'll have to go to the car. There's no other option. We'll just have to come back in the morning and get this stuff.
Yeah, where are we going to take the car?
We'll be stuck there.
Just be in the car.
Distant but unmistakable, cut through the night. Whether it was a person or something else, they couldn't tell. But they knew it wasn't normal. Later, rustling sounds came from outside the tent. Something, or someone, was moving around their camp. One of them claimed to hear faint touches against the tent fabric, and while they tried to convince themselves it could be an animal, the timing and behavior suggested otherwise. Afraid of being discovered by people or worse, they turned off their lights and huddled together in silence. Even with no way to defend themselves, they decided the safest option was to wait until morning. They barely slept.
Not that much happened. There was a few creepy things that I wished we'd got on camera. I heard... So as I was drifting off to sleep, I've just suddenly been woken up by this horrible feeling of dread and this flashing image of someone like that against the tent. Now obviously that doesn't mean anything, but it was creepy and it freaked me out. Really freaked me out, and it made me feel really uneasy for a while. Anyway, I ended up falling back asleep again, and then
I don't know what time it was, but
about 3ish.
was it about
I
10
said,
past 3? I woke up. Was that when it rustled?
yeah, because you said what
There
time
was
it?
rustling around the tent, like quite a lot. Obviously, it could be an animal or something.
Yeah,
obviously.
but it was like someone was touching the tent.
There was nothing, mate. It was like someone was in the tent, like in the conservatory bit. So it was like
That's
rustling
scary.
and rustling, and I thought, I woke Corrine up, and I was like, Corrine, is that you? Can you hear that? And she just goes,
Because I was half asleep.
she's off sleep, straight back to sleep. She just goes, no, it's not me, I'm dead still. And then just went back to sleep. And then it continued for a little while, but the thing is, with that rustling noise, there was no noise before or after it. It just kind of appeared at the end of the tent, and it was just like, oh my god.
And there was nothing. The wind wasn't really bad. It did then start to rain.
It was raining. That had an effect
Oh.
on, maybe hearing stuff.
Other
or-
stuff.
or things like that.
We did hear branches breaking, but it'd be once in a while a branch would snap. So it wasn't like sort of footsteps were walking and snapping. It was just once in a while a branch sounded like it got trod on. But we kind of just tried to ignore it. At this point, we couldn't really film because we didn't want to have.
No,
If we do
and
something like this again, we're gonna have to like.
we didn't want to make a big deal out of something that potentially wasn't anything.
Well, there shouldn't have been branches snapping. There's not really animals heavy enough and shit. Like there's deer, but they wouldn't have been where we were. I think.
no, but
The next day, they admitted they had experienced some of the most intense fear of their lives. Both recalled moments where dread came on suddenly and inexplicably. One even described a vision of a figure standing against the tent, though they dismissed it as a dream. Still, the snapping branches, periodic rustling, and absence of wildlife sounds were hard to explain. Whatever happened out there, one thing was clear: they would never be returning to Daring Woods again. Some viewers believe Karen and Chelsea experienced a combination of exhaustion, paranoia, and environmental triggers. However, others argue that the consistency of the strange sounds, the unexplained flashlight failures, and the sudden dread both girls felt at the same time suggests something more, perhaps residual energy in the forest, or even an intelligent presence. Was it just their imagination fueled by eerie legends? Or was someone watching them from the shadows the entire night? And if they had stayed just a little longer, what would they have seen? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Adam Brown, best known for his YouTube channel Adam Brown Adventures, has made a name for himself as a dedicated diver and search specialist. While his channel includes all sorts of outdoor adventures, from treasure hunting to abandoned exploration, his most impactful work lies in using his diving skills to help families find missing loved ones, free of charge. In this particular case, Adam takes viewers to Sumter, South Carolina, where he embarks on an emotional mission to help solve the 7-year disappearance of a man named Tommy Braley. Tommy vanished in 2017 after leaving work one evening. He was last seen at a now-closed bar and grill in Sumter, and despite a short drive home, he and his silver BMW were never seen again. With no witnesses, no leads, and no vehicle found, his family had been left in devastating uncertainty for years. On December 30th, 2024, Adam and fellow searcher Jason returned to the area with a renewed sense of determination. This time, they were focusing on a particular body of water that Jason had scanned years earlier.
Today we are continuing the search for missing person Tommy Lee Braley. He went missing back in 2017 with his vehicle, a silver BMW.
It's been 1 year since 52-year-old Tommy Braley was last seen by his family and friends in Sumter. Braley left Brewer's Bar on East Westmark in the early hours last August and hasn't been heard from since.
We've been doing searching for the past years for Tommy, because he just basically vanished after leaving a Brewer's Bar and Grill in downtown Sumter, which has since closed by now. They had a lot of issues there, apparently fighting, and I've heard a lot of rumors about this bar. But he was out with his coworkers, having a good time. He left at like 2 a.m., vanished. He only had like a 15-minute drive back to his house, but neither him or his car has been seen since. So me and Jason, we've been checking so many places over the past few years for Tommy. Just all the signs to us point, when a car goes missing, you're in the woods or the water somewhere. There's a lot of woods, but by this time, usually hunters or somebody would have seen him if it was obvious. There's not a ton of water. There's a lot of little spots, and we're just, continuing to search. And you've been out here the past few days looking, right?
Yeah, I was here Saturday. It looks like there could be a car. I mean, it's a car-shaped object out towards this way. I don't know if they come around that curve here.
Yeah.
And shot off right there, but I've seen no signs of car parts. But we're talking, 7 years ago?
Something had shown up on sonar back then, a car-shaped object, but the lead was never confirmed. As they prepared their gear, they discussed their theory. If Tommy's car had never been recovered, and if no sign of him had turned up in nearby woods, then water was the most logical place left to search.
That one looks silver. That looks pretty new though. GM. We're gonna see if we can't stick to something. Bet you would pull up some car parts though. Oh, hey, I'm on something over here. And honestly, kind of felt like a car to me. You need to scan this, dude. That is something big.
Jason remembered the spot clearly. There, beneath the surface of a quiet waterway, the shape of a vehicle had once appeared on his scanner. Back then, they hadn't been able to confirm anything, but today they were back to find out. With a mix of hope and caution, they sent down an underwater drone for a closer look.
On the tire, I don't see a logo.
That's the wheel.
Is that right?
And all here to get it closer.
It's just buried. Need a logo. Or the tag.
The front's gonna be too buried. Didn't have any actual pictures of his vehicle, right? I don't think so.
It looks like a.
Let me see.
Isn't that what the BMW front kind of shape is?
Oh, that looks like a BMW grill front end.
This has got to be him. This has got to be him.
Can you go around more to the front?
I'm trying to. I mean, of course, it's missing the thing.
Yeah, it should have another one identical to it on the other side. Turn now. You're too far, too close. That's a BMW. That's 100% a BMW.
I think we found him, man.
You're not gonna be able to tell anything. There's usually a logo right there at the top where the two grill pieces come together.
That's it. That's this BMW.
We found Tommy. I bet. That's gotta be Tommy. That's gotta be Tommy.
Let's keep going around the car. I knew when that magnet stuck, which is a weird thing to say because we didn't even run sonar or anything, but you kind of get to know the stick of a car, you know, the feel. And bear with me because I'm. Oh, and that line's right. Oh, that line's going right over it. We found him.
Can you get to the back?
I'm gonna try to pull it out, but we have confirmation that he's in the vehicle, where there is human remains in the vehicle. Obviously, we won't know that until the coroners check it out, but.
As the drone descended, the shape slowly became clearer. It was definitely a vehicle, and what's more, it appeared to match the size, shape, and color of Tommy's missing BMW. Then came the moment they had waited years for. Confirmation of a BMW front grille, visible through the camera feed. Every detail lined up. 4-door, silver body, matching shape, matching location. The evidence was overwhelming. When Adam later retrieved the license plate, it left no doubt. They had found Tommy's car. Authorities were called, and human remains were discovered inside the vehicle. The car was pulled from the water the next morning. Soon after, official identification confirmed what they had suspected. The remains belonged to Tommy Braley. After 7 long years of questions and heartbreak, Adam and Jason were able to give Tommy's family the one thing they had been waiting for: closure. But Adam's work didn't end there. He continues to dive across the country, searching for those who have disappeared without answers. Because for him, it's not just about the adventure. It's about helping others find peace. Tommy's disappearance left many unanswered questions. Why he went off the road, how no one spotted the car for years, and whether foul play was ever involved. But the location and condition of the car suggest a tragic accident. It's a stark reminder of how easily vehicles can vanish underwater in remote areas, and why recovery divers like Adam play a critical role. What if they hadn't returned to scan that area again? Would the car and the answers have remained hidden forever? This next clip comes from the adventurous creator behind the YouTube channel Majori, known for pushing himself to the limit in some of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. His content ranges from hiking through blizzards to building shelters from scratch, all while maintaining an unshakable sense of determination. In this particular video, he's deep in the Alaskan wilderness, wild camping far from any sign of civilization. What was meant to be a peaceful night off-grid would soon become a serious survival test. The date was April 1st, 2025. The surrounding landscape was nothing short of stunning, vast, pristine, and completely untouched. As the day faded and the light dimmed, everything seemed calm. But then he spotted something in the distance. A pack of wolves, slow at first but gradually inching closer. With time running out and no safe ground nearby, he quickly surveyed the area and came across an abandoned elevated tree shelter. Weather-worn and partially hidden, it offered the only viable escape from the looming threat. Without hesitation, he climbed the structure's old, rickety stairs, placing his trust in a platform that had clearly seen better days. Once above the forest floor, he worked quickly to set up a rough sleeping area, doing what he could to insulate himself against the cold and stay unseen. Though temporarily safe from the wolves below, a new risk emerged. One slip or wrong step in the darkness could mean a deadly fall. Balancing fear with focus, he stayed vigilant throughout the night. Despite the gusting wind and eerie forest sounds, including howling that never seemed too far off, he managed to find moments of peace. The view from the canopy was both beautiful and surreal, framed by moonlight and the distant echo of predators below. Through it all, the structure held strong, and so did he. By sunrise, he descended cautiously, step by step, back to the forest floor. What began as a tranquil hike had turned into an unexpected brush with danger, but thanks to his instincts and adaptability, he made it through unscathed. This encounter is a reminder of how quickly nature can shift from peaceful to perilous. Though wolf attacks on humans are rare, their curiosity and territory defense can pose a real risk, especially when you're alone and unarmed. The shelter likely wasn't built for situations like this, but in this case, it became a literal lifeline. Had he arrived just a few minutes later, or hadn't noticed the shelter, how differently would this story have ended? And more importantly, how many others have been caught unaware by dangers hiding just beyond the tree line? This next video features Sydney, the solo traveler behind the YouTube channel Sydney State of Mind. Since launching her journey in April the year prior, she's been documenting life on the road in her SUV, sharing the beauty, freedom, and lessons of solo travel across the United States. Her channel usually radiates positivity, scenic drives, inspiring reflections, and practical tips for anyone dreaming of life beyond the pavement. But in this particular video, things take a much darker, more unsettling turn.
Oh, there's a fire tower up there. So apparently there's spots like at the end of this road right here. Well, it's supposed to be down this road. This all just looks really spooky. Okay, so basically the issue is that I was supposed to turn down that road down there and there's a giant tree in front of it and it looks really creepy and unkept. It's supposed to storm. I'm basically in a hurricane. I'm in like hurricane weather right now. And I have a feeling that if I stay this far deep in the woods, a bunch of branches are gonna fall and block me when I want to leave tomorrow. So I think I might just camp at the fire tower.
On September 22nd, 2024, Sydney was deep in the remote wilderness of southeast Missouri, searching for a quiet place to spend the night. After a long day behind the wheel, she arrived at a secluded trail that seemed promising, but something about the atmosphere felt off. The weather was worsening. The road was blocked by a large fallen tree, and despite being far from anyone, the entire area gave her a strange, uneasy feeling. Trusting her gut, she changed plans and headed back toward a fire lookout tower she had seen earlier, hoping it would be a safer alternative.
Here's my rice. I'm making Spam. I've only had it one other time in my life. The only time I've had Spam was on a ski weekend with people from my college, and this girl made Spam. Well, this is only a tad creepy. I feel like I'm attracting all the bears. I'm actually really scared of the whole bear thing right now. I don't know what I was thinking. This was so smelly. I should not have made dinner.
With daylight quickly fading, she parked nearby and did her best to make the space feel like home, setting up dinner and trying to stay calm. But as she cooked a simple meal, a new realization struck. She had just prepared hot food in the heart of bear territory. The comforting warmth of dinner quickly turned into a source of fear. The smell now felt like a risk. Every twig snapping outside made her tense. The forest around her, already filled with an eerie silence, now seemed to press in closer.
Putting my oven away, my stove away. This is just gonna be dirty in my car. I have this plate of food and I need to eat it, but I'm so scared. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to eat as much as I can, and I think I might move to a campsite like over there and just get up in the morning and leave early. I'm almost like about to shake. Well, if this video gets posted, it's because I'm alive. Good. I didn't realize how hungry I was. I don't know if I finished the story about the Spam, but the girl on the ski trip gave me Spam, and it was so good. I was like, what the heck? Might be like, why are you eating outside? I don't want to make the rest of my car smell and like have an animal try to get in while I'm sleeping. I'm so scared, but I need to eat. Oh my god. Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever needed spotlights more than tonight. I just realized one of the pieces of Spam fell on the ground after I put it on the...
Feeling the unease grow stronger, she weighed her options. Should she stay and risk it? Or pack up and move, even if it meant just shifting her car a few dozen yards? She chose to relocate, packing her gear, turning on spotlights, and settling into the safety of her vehicle. The move, while minor in distance, brought a huge shift in peace of mind. Now with a barrier between her and the unknown, she felt slightly safer. Still, it was impossible to fully relax. Every noise outside echoed with potential danger. The scent of the food still lingered, but exhaustion eventually overtook fear, and she drifted off inside her SUV. When morning came, she was safe. Nothing had happened, but the weight of the night remained. She had followed her instincts, and in doing so, perhaps avoided something she'll never truly know. Some might say Sydney overreacted, but seasoned solo travelers know how often your intuition notices things your mind doesn't fully understand yet. From falling branches during storms to actual animal activity, fear isn't always irrational. It can be protective. Was there something watching from the woods that night? Or was it simply fear in its rawest form, amplified by isolation and silence? Either way, sometimes the real lesson is knowing when to trust the feeling you can't explain. This next video comes from Chris, the voice behind Blood Outdoors Show, a channel known for celebrating the peace and simplicity of the outdoors, whether it's hiking, camping, or reviewing gear with a lighthearted spin. But this trip wasn't going to be so lighthearted. In this episode, Chris is joined by his friend Mick for what they expected to be a memorable night of camping. Their chosen location? The grounds of an abandoned church, left to rot since the 1970s. Naturally, they anticipated a few spooky vibes, but nothing could have prepared them for what would unfold. It's November 3rd, 2024. The pair park a short distance away and begin the short trek to the crumbling ruins.
Little Mick with a massive... I'll make it straight through here. Ooh, shut that door. There we go. Right, folks. Let's spend a few little minutes having a mooch around, trying to find the best spot to camp. Like I see, I've been looking on Google Earth and that. And it did look like there was a few spots away from the graves. But we'll have a mooch around now before it's pitch black, so we can manoeuvre around without walking over the top of the graves, if you know what I'm talking about.
Looking for a respectful place to set up camp, away from the graves that still line the site. Once the tent is pitched and the drinks come out, things feel normal enough. The banter flows. The fire crackles.
Spooky camp, if you know what I'm talking about, and I'll bring you back in a few Neil Sedarkas and Winnie Mandela's tricycles. Right, folks, I've just left little Mick by the tent just for a few minutes to get some footage. The old Nicki Minaj on my camaraderie. Yes. fucking open. Sorry for the language, folks. I wasn't expecting that. But this will be locked. Whoa. Whoa. Why, what a treat. I wasn't expecting this at all.
But as night falls, a stillness sets in. The type of silence that feels heavier than usual, as if something unseen is watching. That's when Chris discovers something unexpected. The church, thought to be boarded up, is wide open. Curious and surprised, he brings Mick over for a quick look inside. What began as just another fun twist in the evening suddenly feels like an invitation they weren't ready for. The interior is dusty and hollow. Old wood creaks underfoot. But what truly gets their attention is what they'd heard from a local paranormal enthusiast.
He's actually the admin on the Blood Outdoor Show fans group on Facebook. He's into like ghostly, what do you call it? You know, when you go to places that's haunted and you're getting like the paranormal readings and all that kind of stuff. He's into all that stuff, and he's done it at loads of different places, and he's done it here. And he said it was one of the most spookiest places he's ever been. He sent us a little video, and you can hear like voices and stuff. I mean, I'm very skeptical on that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to try and use mandingos, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I was on the understanding that every now and again they do open the doors for people to go in, but no way on earth I was expecting the door to be open here on a Saturday night for just anyone, you know, any mandingo to go in, have a look. Obviously me and Mix, you know, we're not idiots, we're respectful, so we'll have a quick look in soon, and then I'll bring you along with us. So I'm going to go and get little Mick. I think we'll have a little snackaroonie first. When I bring you back, we'll have a look in there, and ooh, fingers crossed we don't get anything too spooky happening. Oh shit, I've just nearly walked into a grave. Right guys, I'll bring you back in a Winnie Mandela. Yes, cheers guys. Cheers, schmickaroo.
Claims of whispers, strange bangs, and voices heard in the church during previous visits. Both Chris and Mick laugh it off. They're not the superstitious type. And yet, the uneasiness starts to creep in. After a few more drinks around the fire, they decide to go back inside and explore properly.
From your corner shop, straight over the road from where Mick lives, so takes me back to my younger days, Red Stripes, drinking them in Sunderland City Centre when I used to go nightclubbing in Q Club. Yes, mad for it. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Q Club was the place to be in Sunderland City Centre, playing all the best music, Oasis and all like the indie kind of stuff, you know. Mick's too young for that. He's still a young pup. How old are you?
34.
34. Sells your brains. Yeah, to think there, he's 34. I'm 47 now, so anyone watching me who's from the Sunderland area, I'm getting old, Mick. I'm a right old fart now. But anyone from the Sunderland area will know Q Club was absolutely fantastic. And this is why I used to drink Red Stripe back in the day. Anyway, that's enough of me talking shite. Me and the human dorsal fin are going to go over there. You can just see it there, guys. Into that church, which is open. Do you know what I mean? And there's no gimmicks here on the Blood Outdoor Show. We're not going to dress up and try and just do fake shit and clickbait and all that carry on. It is supposed to be like a seriously haunted place, if you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, Kev, who's the admin in the Blood Outdoor Show fans group, he done like a ghostly tour thing in there, you know, when you're doing like the paranormal stuff. And he's been all over doing that kind of things in other places, and he said that was like, if not like one of the most scariest places, if not the most scariest. They heard voices when they got back home and they checked the phone. You can hear like voices that they didn't really hear at the time. So I think we'll have a few more we'll finish this beer, eh? We'll have a few more shots of rum dingo for a bit Dutch courage, and then we'll get in there and we'll have a mooch around. I'm not really scared of stuff like that anyway. What about you, Mick? Not really bothered?
No.
I'm always a believer of, what's the saying? It's not the dead that'll hurt you, it's the living. So, yeah. We'll have a mooch in, and if it's not too scary, maybe later on, we'll go back in and we'll do the world famous one review inside this so-called haunted church, which has been abandoned since the 1970s. Where we're getting pitched up here, there's no graves. There's loads over there. But I think This might have been covered in gravestones years ago. And you know when they've been...
Cameras rolling, spirits high, but their nerves are tested almost immediately.
But yeah, now that we've came in and we've studied for a few seconds, I think kind of chilled now. You chilled out, Mick? Yeah. However, let's have a mooch around. I said to Mick, we'll have one more look in here, and then later on we'll do the room review. Little Mick says, well, we'll have a look around, but we'll do the room review back over there. I've kind of had to persuade him to come back in. I mean, I can see why people come here, Mick, and do the old spooky, ghostly tours and look for the paranormal readings and stuff like that. It's not my kind of thing. My kind of thing is sitting in a tent and getting mangled, spangled, and totally grim crankled. But each to their own, wherever your hobby is. Let's have a look over here, Schmick. Oh, here we go. I've got a photograph of young Chris here. Oh, sorry guys. It's not young Chris. Apologies. It's Jesus Christ, our the Son. Yeah, Milky Buttons. What? What the what? Mix away. Ooh, shut that door. What? Right. Guys, I'm not one of these ones that get scared for shit like that, but that's twice we've been in there. And twice I've heard about I think Mick's dropped his guts. I think he's filled his pants. It's alright, Mick, I've got some baby wipes in my bag. That was proper dodgy, that like.
A loud, unexplained bang echoes through the church. Startled, the two rush back outside. They joke to lighten the mood, chalking it up to birds or maybe something falling naturally, but that nervous laughter can't quite cover the real tension that had just taken hold. Still, Chris refuses to back down. After all, they came here to explore. So later that night, he convinces Mick to return with him for a second look. This time, they tread more cautiously, scanning every corner. But the moment they settle in again, another bang, just as loud, just as jarring, and again from deep within the church. Panic sets in. They flee a second time. This wasn't just imagination. Something was inside with them. Outside, the energy shifts. The woods feel calm again. The church is silent. And once back by their fire, the mystery lingers heavy in the air. How could something so loud and forceful happen inside a place with only one entrance? The one they were using. Eventually, they get some sleep. No more bangs. No other disturbances. But whatever happened inside that church has stayed with them since. Could it have been an animal? A falling object? Maybe even something in the structure settling? Possibly. But the timing, the intensity, and the fact that it happened twice, right after they entered, makes it harder to explain away. And given the church's history and reputation, some viewers believe there might be something else at play. Was this simply a coincidence? Or was something inside that church responding to their presence, warning them to leave? One thing's for sure. This wasn't just another night outdoors, and whatever made that noise wanted to be heard. This next case comes from Exploring with Angelo, a channel known for venturing into the world's most mysterious and haunted places. From forgotten structures to cursed forests, Angelo documents it all. But this time, he took on a challenge far more dangerous than anything he'd faced before. It's December 20th, 2024. Armed with a camera and sheer determination, Angelo hikes deep into a remote, snow-covered forest. The same forest where local legends speak of skinwalkers, shape-shifting creatures said to hunt under the cover of darkness. Most locals won't even speak of the place after sunset. Angelo decides to camp there alone.
Who's there?
Drawing.
Drawing? Is there a drawing somewhere? Did somebody draw something?
I hope you are well.
I'm pretty good. How are you? These are kind of weird. It seems like maybe we're talking to something very friendly at the moment. I'm looking for something called skinwalkers. Am I speaking to somebody who used to maybe live on the land here? You want to come and chat with me? I'm going to spread out all this wood kind of around here so we can dry it off and use it as we need it. That one I'll just put right in. That one's pretty dry. What the hell? Okay, it literally sounded like something just came right towards me. What was that? What was that?
After hours of hiking, he sets up camp, far from any sign of civilization. He builds a fire, clears the snow for a sleeping space, and even makes light of the cold. But as night falls, the energy around him changes.
I guess that would be one advantage to not be living in Florida. Although I love Florida and I would love to be there right about now, but we're not. What the hell? Okay, what the hell was that? That was definitely like the weirdest growl or something.
Suddenly, footsteps. Fast. Heavy. Charging toward him from somewhere in the trees. But no one is there. He scans the darkness, camera in hand, heart racing. Still, nothing. Not a shadow. Not a movement. Just the echo of something. That shouldn't be out there. Trying to stay calm, Angelo laughs it off. Maybe it was a deer, a coyote, the mind playing tricks.
That should be okay there. I don't see anything. I'm pretty sure it goes down into the canyon. Let's go take a look. Let me get my flashlight. I've not been down there. I can see there's some old animal tracks, but those clearly have probably been there for a while. Whoa, this is pretty cool. Try not to fall. Oh yeah, look at that. It actually goes down into this. Whoa, that's a deep drop. Just tripping over everything. Damn, that is fucking cool. Looks slippery. Let's go over here. Just want to take a look in there. Oh, no shortage of wood. Oh shit, there's like barbed wire here. What the hell? What's back here? Okay, well let's not trip into that. Oh damn. Oh damn, that is cool.
The forest quiets again, and he settles back by the fire. But then, a low, inhuman growl pierces the air. Not a bear. Not a wolf. Something different. And too close. He searches with his light. Still nothing. The forest is empty. But the noise returns, again and again, circling him. Every time he looks, it vanishes. Angelo grabs the camera and follows the sounds deeper into the trees, finding old animal tracks that lead nowhere. And then, another loud, aggressive noise, right behind him. He spins around. No one, no thing, no footprints. And that's when it hits him. Whatever this is, it's following him, but staying just out of sight. With adrenaline surging and every instinct screaming to leave, Angelo abandons the camp. Fire still burning. Tent left behind. He hikes back through the darkness, never once turning his back. By the time he reaches safety, the only thing left is the feeling that he wasn't alone out there. Not for a second. The most obvious explanation is an animal, a predator like a mountain lion, stealthy, patient. But that doesn't explain the missing tracks, the unearthly growl, or the complete lack of visual confirmation. Others believe Angelo may have encountered something tied to native folklore, a skinwalker said to mimic voices, walk unseen and drive people mad with fear. So what was it? A lone predator? A trick of isolation? Or was it something older? Something watching from just beyond the firelight? Let us know what you think was in those woods. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.